Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. I will be introducing the podcast again this week. My name is Shadow. We're on episode 42. 42 weeks of this shit, and you're still with us. Or are you still joined us?
I mean, I'm sorry, listeners, but you're the dumbest people I've ever met. Who would listen to this shit for 42 weeks?
I mean, who are the dumb shits who would do this for 42 weeks? You have to think about that.
Well, not Hazard, that's for sure.
Yeah, Hazard is the smart one. I could, I could be knee deep in ice cream watching Twitch streams, but I'm
okay,
here.
let's move on before Barrows tells us anything more about what he'd rather be doing.
Oh, you referred to the thing I said before we started recording. Oh, nice,
okay,
nice.
so the units that we got this week were Fina and Daisy, or Phasey, and NVAs for Fid and Silka. I guess we'll start with the NV unit, Phasey, that for some reason is a thing.
What do you mean
in
for
the
some
middle of
reason it's a
fucking
thing?
winter? In the middle of fucking winter.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's sunny autumn.
I don't know about you guys, but here in Canada, it's pretty freaking cold right now.
So, I hate this unit and everything about it, so I just did not look up its kit. I need someone else to tell me what the shit is up with this shit unit.
I also hate this unit because I looked up their kit. And let's be clear, they are very, very, very good. They are the best unit that's ever come out in the history of the game.
Basically, take Paladin Cecil, take every aspect of him, and improve it.
And then add more shit on top of that.
Like auto cover. Like we all wanted that in the arena, right? That's exactly what we were asking for the arena meta to be spiced up.
Yes, arena is the important game mode here that they break.
Oh yeah, arena is the reason why they're a balance problem. That's the issue.
I have a huge rant planned for the balance issue, but let's wait until we talk about the unit first, so everyone knows why I'm gonna rant.
So, let's see, what does Phasey do? She's a magic cover tank. She's...
Wait, Musman, sorry. Hold on. So, the better way to approach it is by asking, what does Phasey not do? Because it's gonna be a shorter list.
So, she's a magic cover tank. She's about 12 times tankier than Cecil, just right off the top. She has 75% personal mitigation that lasts for 3 turns. She can maintain full uptime on AoE 75% mitigation. She has AoE re-raise, she has 90% resists, she has 75% breaks, she can revive allies, she has 2 AoE imbues, she has stat buffs, she auto-casts cover every time she switches forms. What else?
She's a breaker.
Yeah, I already mentioned the breaks. She has an LB fill thing, she does elemental damage buffs.
Did you mention the heal? I think you did.
She has a 6k heal that she can dual cast. She has an 8k barrier cooldown, or Grandis, and she also has a physical cover Grandis that she can use in an emergency if you want that for some reason. Yeah, there's almost nothing she doesn't do except deal damage. And like I said, she's the best unit that has ever come out in the history of the game, and she is stupidly broken and should not exist. And also she has a stupid CG.
Yeah.
She does the physical cover. That's one thing she can't do.
She does. She has it on a Grandis ability.
She can.
What she does? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Shadow, but the only thing she actually can't do is deal damage. That's the joke of it. She doesn't deal damage. She does everything else. Wait, does she imperil?
Several things she doesn't do very well.
Yeah. She has an earth imperil, but not light. Or maybe it's the other way around.
Yeah.
She imperils one of them, but not the other.
Yeah, she has an 100% earth imperil. But no,
so I guess that's her biggest weakness. It's only 100% imperil.
Oh, yeah.
She only has 50% passive provoke. If that's
there's a few caveats with things that might trip you up at some point. Her 75% self-mitigation is attached to her active provoke. So if you want an evade tank provoking separately, then you might have to have them active provoke as well to have it not override it.
In practice, she's so tanky, I don't see that being an issue unless it's a single target dispel that happens before.
Yeah, for damage it's fine, but for dispels or deaths, it could be pretty annoying, say in the trial that we'll talk about later. Her stat buffs are tied to Light Imbue, which she can't Imperil for, so you might not really want to use those much.
Yeah, you're really
and
like
with-
scraping
Yeah.
the bottom of the barrel
It's,
here, Dream.
it's very much minor nitpicks to amazing stuff. And then with her aforementioned physical cover Grandis, there is something where if you use it on the turn, like directly on the turn that you go into Brave Shift, it'll be like the physical cover will be overwritten by the magic cover from her autocast. So that can either be a good thing where you can use it just for physical mitigation and not have, but still be covering magic. But it can also be a bad thing if you actually want a physical cover. You need to prepare a turn in advance and have already brave
That's a
shifted.
good point.
Yeah. So the issue here is kind of that we have this. It's kind of the same with Cecil, but squared. They've created a unit that's incredibly hard to creep, and that just forces them to start introducing really poisonous trial mechanics to justify the unit itself. So stuff like having auto cast cover is good because there might come a trial where there's a preemptive attack where you actually want this passive cover. Her tankiness makes it so the bosses have to hit so hard that you can't even get close to using anything else. The only good thing, knowing a bit about the future, is that her 75% AoE mitigation is not really needed because, again, in the future your party doesn't take damage. So that's I guess a small comfort for me. But otherwise, they've created these. They've painted themselves in a corner, and I don't know why they do this. Why, this unit would sell with half its kit. Why are they doing this? Can someone explain?
Where's that old quote by Old Boy? Like, FFB is a game made without thought.
Yeah, because and this is one of the things I ranted about in the Discord before. Because there's so much room. I mean, FFB is a very strategic game with a very deep mechanical system tied to it, right? So there are many ways of creating useful and interesting units while also creeping the meta, but without breaking it. Like, you could have, for instance, done a really tanky magic cover tank that also has buffs and breaks. And then you release another really tanky magic tank that has, I don't know, imbues and imperils. And then you create scenarios where you need to use these two tanks. Like, for instance, a trial where you really want the tank to be your breaker, or a trial where you really want your tank to be the imbuer and imperiler, etc., etc. I'm just making shit up, but it's quite easy with this deep mechanical system to create units that don't have to have everything, and you can still create many magic tanks then. You can also create many damage dealers in the same sense. You don't have to make like a 30% leap with every unit. You can just add, different elements, different utilities to the units. But no, that's not how FFB works.
No, what you really do is create units where you can cover all of your defensive stuff in about 2 slots and then create trials that you need to bring 4 damage dealers for.
I mean, but that's what has to happen. When they create this, then that's a way to justify this unit. What?
That is somewhat what will happen. Like, from what I've seen at least, bringing 3 damage dealers, it becomes very common.
I mean, but again, that's a way to justify this unit, because they created this unit where you can just roll all these slots into one, and then you can just bring all the damage dealers, and now they have to create trials that fit it. So it's a bit depressing. I mean, it's a bit depressing.
So despite our problems with this unit's existence, in case it wasn't obvious, they are very much worth pulling for. So if you have any Lapis or tanks, even if you already have a good magic tank, I don't think there's anything you could spend this Lapis on in the next 6 to 10 months that's likely to be a bigger upgrade.
Yeah, probably not. No. I mean, this is the best unit to come out in the game so far, including what we know about JP. I think the only unit that comes close to the tankiness and power is, I guess, NVA Charlotte. When are we getting her?
I think
Probably
she'll be
soon.
in a month or two, because she comes with Envy for Salus's banner. But yeah,
Right.
I think in at least some situations, Charlotte can kind of match up on tankiness, especially when her racial mitigations come into play.
Yeah.
but she has a lot less of the just support and extras that FaZe has.
Yeah, Charlotte
I mean-
is a lot squishier than FaZe, just off the top, and she's missing a lot of the utility. Really, the only major advantage I think she has is the racial mitigation against demons and reapers. So, if you're fighting a boss like that, she can probably measure up to FaZe a bit. Anything else, and she's just so much worse.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that she is like the next thing that comes even close to the tankiness that FaZe is bringing to the meta. Like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, you have Cecil now, yeah, good for you, but you're nowhere close to being good enough.
Like, let's be clear. It's not that Sacred Shield Charlotte's NVA is going to be bad. She'll probably be like the second best unit in the game. But she's so far behind FaZe. She's basically just an NVA tank.
Yeah.
And being NV is a big deal because that gives you more stats. But aside from that, she doesn't really get much that's new.
We'll see when she actually releases. But yeah, FaZe is like not required for future trials, but is so much nicer to have. Things will be painful without her.
What I've been checking out is that like there are future trials where preemptive magic damage is becoming more and more popular as a way of like, and Omega, I think, Scorn, what was it? I think it was like an example.
I don't know if Omega has preemptive. I know Omega has like a big tank buster that is really hard to live even with FaZe. But the main one I remember for preemptive is White Dragon Extreme. That does like a big dark preemptive with Imperil, so you basically need either ridiculous resists that you're probably only gearing your magic tank for, or if you don't have that preemptive cover, you need pretty much like Guts on everyone.
Yeah, the good thing about that trial is that Guts does save you. Like, you can gear around it.
And then
but I am more worried.
Yeah,
and I'm not worried about the gimmick that is passive cover, because that seems to have only shown up as being really useful in one trial in the future. I am much more worried about the, tankiness that FaZe brings. Because as you said, Dream, without FaZe, even if you have Charlotte, you might, you're going to have some painful trials coming up. Like I am. I don't have FaZe, but I'm not pulling for that piece of shit. Like, I am not telling Gumi. I'm not going to tell Gumi this is a good way to run their game. So no way I'm pulling for this.
But it wasn't Gumi's idea to make FaZe into a unit. It was Alem's idea.
Yeah, sorry. So, I kind of use them interchangeably, but yeah.
But in a perfect world, I think what would have happened is they would have delayed FaZe, but then that would have gotten everybody angry. So they can't do that.
Nah, anyways. They could. They delayed, what's her face? There was this super powerful support that didn't come out at all for us. One of the magical girls from season 3.
Well, so think about Daisy and Poppy. Are those units were like delayed because of the whole story event delays? I don't think they were delayed because the units were OP. They were delayed because of COVID and
what I mean is it wouldn't really matter, because it's like, yes, people were a bit annoyed that Poppy was delayed, but it wasn't like people were tearing their hair out. However, you can't delay FaZe because FaZe was designed also to make some of the future trials trivial, so they kind of have to add her because people would lose their shit if we got White Dragon without FaZe and everyone had to gear for Guts. So yeah.
Poppy really isn't that big a deal. Like, I mean, it's not that she's bad, but delaying her or skipping her is not the same thing as skipping FaZe. Like, even apart from the fact that tanks are often a bigger deal than supports.
Yeah.
Poppy just doesn't really do as much. She was mostly, like, she's great in Dark Visions, or at least she was in JP, where they didn't have Zon. Here she matters less just because we can imbue more easily and do killers and stuff. But, like, she does, like, fairly good tight to mitigation buffs and not much else.
She does a fair bit, but yeah, she's not like so important.
Yeah, it's mostly that she has, for us in GL, it would mostly be that she has the elemental damage buffs.
Yeah.
We're almost, I think, done with FaZe, but before we finish FaZe and go to the next unit, I just want to point out this is our second straight week where we have a Fina unit. But last week was actually, the week before that was actually the second straight week we've got a Sakura unit. So it was GLS, and then we got a Sakura's Blossom Stage Sakura's Awakening. This last week we had Darfina's Awakening. This week we have FaZe/Fid.
Well, this week we have two Finas.
Yeah, we have two Finas too. That's a good segue.
We have Daisy
to Fid.
And Fina and Lid and Fulcra and Citra.
I guess we also got 2 Finas on the Fina week.
That's true.
So many Finas.
Yeah, it's Fina Exvius.
So let's talk about an actually
kidding.
reasonable unit that's a lot of fun and actually a great example of how units should be designed. So that's Summer, Fina, and Lid, in my opinion. Can I introduce her?
Sure.
Go for it.
Well, I reserve the right to interrupt.
Yeah, listen. I'm not going to talk about the sex appeal of 12-year-old girls. Jesus Christ. Also, if anyone uses any of the CGs of these units without turning the LB off, yeah, just don't go outside. Don't go outside. You will be beaten up. Anyway, moving to the unit. Wow. Okay, so of course, Fid was a fantastic unit already. Well, at least back when she was meta and her breaks were meta. She was already a fantastic unit because she could do some stuff. She could heal, she could break at the same time. That was really nice. And she had imperils and a ton of other stuff. But what they did now isn't that much, but really shows how good of a unit this is. So they gave her triple cast, which matters a lot because she also got a spammable 84% break. Now, that's a big deal. And she also got imperils. She got a really, really big MP regen. But the thing about her triple cast and this spammable break is that she can now easily substitute your healer and breaker in one unit, as long as, you're not yearning for some of the specifics of the healer kit, such as ailment immunity or break immunity.
Re-raise.
Well, she has
re-raise.
re-raise. She doesn't have a raise.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's the one.
Yeah.
Her re-raise isn't that usable either. I think it's just one AoE on a 6-turn cooldown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that made the big difference was she's one of the units that's had free enhancements packaged in, and the big thing with that is giving her just an ability Curaja, where it wasn't as strong of a heal before. So combined with the action economy of the triple cast, that's what really lets her just heal very easily.
I think it was always Curaja tier, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I'll double check.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
But she also gets her spirit up much higher now. And the reason why I like this unit really much is that now you can build some pretty cool teams around her where you can bring her as your... So imagine bringing her as your provoke, evasion, breaker, healer in a single unit. Then you have so much freedom in your comp to bring other units. For instance, if you do need ailment immunity, you can bring many of the other units that actually have ailment immunity that could add it to your party. It opens up, I've said this so many times on previous episodes, but I love seeing units like this that open up my party to creative team building.
I just checked. It was always Curaja.
Yeah, it did actually have Curaja. It just got strong water and peril added to it. So never mind. But yeah, the action economy really helps.
Yeah, I do want to say, like we mentioned earlier, her healer kit is very, very bare bones. She has heals, and that's pretty much it. So you want to be really careful, because if units start dying, there's basically nothing she can do to fix that. She has the re-raise cooldown that doesn't have full uptime. You can try to have somebody else in your party help with that, like FaZe has AoE re-raise. She might have raise too, I forget.
She probably has.
Yeah, but just make sure that it's not a fight where people die unavoidably, or if it is, that you have a very good plan to deal with that, because she's not going to do much for you.
Since when did her cooldown do 84% breaks? Was that always a thing?
That's part of the enhancements.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, FaZe does have a 50% raise.
I guess one thing can be said, that the 84% break is single target, so that's something to think about. You can still, if it's 3 targets, you can still break all 3 of them by doing the target switching. Well,
her cooldown is AoE,
exactly.
So on turn 1 she can do that, and then she can maintain a single target.
Exactly, and
unfortunately, she could also use her limit burst, which is only 75%.
Yeah, exactly.
That is an AoE.
That's the thing. It's unfortunate she didn't get a buff on her limit burst at all, because right now you have 0 incentive to use it, really. That should have, if that got buffed to 84, then she would have had a really nice kit and also been able to maintain it AoE. Not that it's a huge deal, but it's it's something to think about.
I mean, the less that LB is used, the better.
We should also
Yeah.
mention her Brave Shift. Even if it's
No.
just
So
to
this
say,
unit
you know,
doesn't have a Brave Shift. It's really funny how they made an NVA without a Brave Shift. Let's move
her
on.
Brave Shift is god awful. She changes into a physical damage dealer, but she has the base attack of a 6-star unit and like no attack passives or something.
Yeah. The base attack of a 6-star non-damage unit.
Well, no, she has like
Yeah.
about as much attack as Veritas of the Dark 6-star.
Yeah, and she
How
does
much
about
Oh,
as much damage as
wow.
Veritas of the Dark NVA, kind of like just below him, right? More or less.
Yeah, I think the only time you're ever using this is like in Dark Visions because it does have 130% water imperil, or you could use her to add a little bit of extra damage if somebody else is already imperiling. Because it's not that she does no damage; it's just pretty bad
No,
by
but
MV
it's
standards.
just not mentioned. Like you shouldn't even waste. Like it's almost better to keep your extra fids, for the future rather than turning them into shards to make this EX+1. Like I mean, so she has this very nice 200% LB buff in her Brave Shift form, and a really strong hitting LB like most ND units do. But the problem is that she has so shit base stats that it's still not gonna be worth. It's not gonna be worth using it, like at all. So, unfortunately,
Yeah. Because her
I would have to
modifiers
calculate. I
are
would imagine it's
standard.
probably somewhere between 100 and 200 billion damage, which is like what 20 to 30% of Tifa.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like a non-insignificant contribution for DV, but like it's really just not that worth using.
But it is quite refreshing that her EX or EX+1 is not needed for this unit. As long as you have an STMR FID, you have an amazing unit on your hands. You need to do nothing more except, of course, level her abilities up to level 5. And that's it. Super nice. Also,
Speaking of, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Speaking of units that don't need their Brave Shift,
Silka.
yeah, we can move
Yeah.
on to the other unit on the banner. And again,
Very
this
similar
is
story.
this is very surprising because we have a banner where every unit is actually fairly good.
And also non-damage dealers.
Yeah.
But they're also all in bikini, so it's like.
Well,
But this one
here,
isn't underage. This
The-
one isn't underage.
Yeah, this is the
so-
better unit. Like,
not all of them. Only 3 of them. Don't forget about Minir. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
manure.
Manure.
Sure.
I thought we were leaving 7-star units in the dust.
Yeah, we are.
So Fultra is again a unit that combines healer with something else. Now she's a lot better at healing than Fit is. She has like an actual healing kit. It's still not a complete healing kit. She doesn't have any way to raise allies, but she does have a re-raised Grandis ability with 2 charges that does 5 turns. So on a lot of fights, that's going to be enough. More importantly, she has a spammable 5k AoE barrier, which is
Yeah,
that's
pretty
that's
great.
pretty massive.
Mm-hmm.
Also, more importantly, she has full ailment and break immunity buffs across 2 abilities.
Yeah, she feels to me like a very upgraded version of Fulka. It's not a perfect comparison. Fulka does have some stuff that Fultra doesn't, but it's a pretty good Cliff Notes explanation of her kit.
Yeah.
And what about her excellent Brave Shift, guys?
Yeah, so this
Well,
unit is also
continue-
really weird. No Brave Shift.
Continuing talking about her base form, I see it quite comparable to Rena because she has like the healing stuff and then like 180 to 200% stat buffs that she maintains pretty easily. AoE Light Imbue plus 120% Imperial, which
Wait,
because she actually has immunity buffs for, she doesn't really have to worry about the charm chance on it.
how does she maintain 200 stat buffs?
No, 180.
She has 181s
Oh,
on
yeah.
attached to her killer buffs.
And I think you're underselling it a bit, Dream, because she has a 6-turn cooldown that increases attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 200%. So it's literally only 1 turn you're gonna have 180% buffs. Otherwise, it's 200%.
or if it gets dispelled or whatnot. But she does have the important thing is she has those on-demand
Yeah.
backup options as well, so
I
she
do
can pretty
think-
easily maintain them.
I do think that unless you have another source of AoE magic mitigation, Rena will be better in most cases. But if you do, like if you have, I don't know, what's that one unit on this banner that has
Fuck you,
great
Maspel.
magic
Let's move
mitigation?
on. Let's move on.
I think it's probably Fid had magic mitigation, right?
Yeah. If you have Fid to give you magic mitigation, because that's what Fid does, definitely only Fid.
Yeah.
Then you can stack barriers on top of that and end up with crazy survivability.
But one thing I want to say
And
again, it's
her
so
brave shift
refreshing.
is terrible damage.
Yeah. Like just one thing I want to mention about the units as a whole, or kind of this design, is so cool. Like we're getting this fantastic healer / buffer and this breaker / support healer on the same banner. Both are helping you really design your team in an efficient manner. Man, this is how NVAs should be. Not like what Blossom Sage Sakura got, because we all know what Blossom
So
Sage Sakura
basically
got.
what you're saying is they are primarily non-damage units, and therefore have actual good non-damage kits.
Yeah, I guess. But they also don't have fucking graviton cannon.
Ah, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more unit on the banner.
There is?
And
Nope, there isn't.
There is one more footnote on the banner.
I mean, she's not bad. Manure is a buffer. She's kind of like a worse version of Renora, but to be fair, there's a lot of room to be worse than Renora and still be reasonably useful. I wouldn't pull for her, but if you're pulling for Phasey and you get her and you don't have Renora, she can be fairly good. She's got 60% AoE physical mitigation that she can maintain. She's got 1 stack AoE Mirage that she can spam, and then she can do a single target 2 stack Mirage and has a cooldown with 3 stack AoE Mirage. And that's about it. She's missing a lot of other normal buffer stuff like stat buffs, but
Like that
if
one
it's
little
a
thing.
fight that goes really hard on physical damage, then she could be fairly useful.
Yeah.
It's like saying that this healer has like all this great things like re-raise and revives and status ailments, but it can't heal.
Oh, wait. I know a healer
Specifically
like this,
a
Shadow.
physical-
I know a healer like this. Can I say the
No,
name of
fuck off.
this healer?
Leave it in suspense. But no, she is
Fuck off.
specifically a physical mitigator and a quad CWA support chainer.
Yeah, I mean, we say this with almost every unit. She's going to see use in Dark Vision probably, and not much
Maybe.
else.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a big stretch.
With it Dark Imperil and Mirage and Dark Resist, I don't know.
There might
come
be
in
a
handy.
specific stage. Her TMR and STMR are also decently nice, because her TMR has a niche of doing a 1-stack auto Mirage at the start of battle, so that could be a fun gimmick at times.
Hey, wouldn't that help
Yeah,
against
And
like Shinryu?
unlike the other unit, there's a few other items that have that, but most of them have terrible stats. This one is actually okay for mages.
Yeah, a lot of them, the others are limited to. And then her STMR is basically, I would say, a slight downgrade from Kefka's STMR. It trades 20% magic for 100% LB fill rate, or 200% even, so it might be useful
Yeah,
for some.
I wouldn't say
more
slight
LB focused
downgrade.
mages.
I mean, 20% magic isn't that much, but yeah, it's by STMR standards, it's
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Like 100%
it's-
magic TDH and 40% magic is like still strong.
Yeah.
And that's the units for the week.
All right. So do you want to talk
Lovely.
about the bosses now? Because we got 2 trials this week.
Should we talk about the real one or the joke one?
Is that what?
Yeah. Let's talk about Vlad.
Okay, we'll get the joke one out of the way first.
So the first thing I want to say about Vlad is that he looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is fair.
Yeah, but he's such a joke.
I love that someone
I
in the
haven't actually-
Discord said, "Hey, they should have done like a Kefka-esque battle with him, where you kind of those that have played Final Fantasy VI, you kind of climb up to Kefka's true form through climbing the statue thing. So it's like you're going up and up and up. It'd be really fun to start at his toes and move slowly upwards."
Looking at the wiki, apparently, like, most of what we think of as Vlad is not actually part of his sprite. It's just the background. It's only like the little blue gem that's him.
Yeah,
That's his sprite.
you can see
so
that when
that's
you
kinda funny.
use certain LBs on his fight, when just everything disappears except the sprite.
Okay, but why is it Vlad? Isn't it Vlad?
I'd say
Oh,
Vlad.
no. Pronunciation was the return.
Anyway, he's a joke. If you have a decent NVA damage dealer, you can just face roll the shit out of that trial. Like, hey, you know what? Take this chance, dear listener, take this chance to do a blind trial. bring your best units, just gear them for whatever, and test it out. I'm sure it's gonna work out.
Well,
So, for
maybe the one
reference,
thing you need is confusion resist.
the last SBB that we got before Vlad was Braska's Final Aeon from Final Fantasy X, and that was 244 days ago. Just for
Shit,
reference.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Boy, I sure am
It's-
glad SBBs are back. Glad they were buffed to the current meta,
Yeah.
just like Dragon Quest.
They were just as buffed as the Dragon Quest units. All right, but let's actually move on to the real trial.
Yeah.
So Dark Espers.
On the
Dark Espers 2-2.
Yeah.
Scorn of the Beasts 2-2.
It's almost identical to the original one, except in terms of numbers. The only new mechanic, I think, is that they gave Shiva a single target zombie.
Who even
Right.
remembers the original fight, though?
I kind of do.
It was-
It's the only fight in the game that used cover.
That's fair.
And the thing to keep in mind about the single target zombie that has come up a couple of times on the Discord and in all servers is that for that reason it is tricky to single tank this encounter because
Yes.
you really don't want your cover tank to get zombied. So
Well, I think the thing that makes it more difficult to single tank is there is also single target dispel, which I think is at the start of a turn as well.
Ah, right.
So that'll remove your cover, and then your team will get screwed unless you get everyone for like massive ice and dark resist. So that's fun. Basically, use a separate provoke tank.
But just like the first time we had this trial, in fact, just like every time we've ever had a Dark Espers trial, there is a take 0 damage strat for this trial, right?
It's not a perfectly take 0 damage, but it's basically
Or 0 damage for your team, I mean.
yeah. It's as long as your provoke tank is alive and like doesn't get dispelled, then the rest of the like team or doesn't get damaged if they have some resist.
Yeah, it's like
Basically,
you
there
need-
isn't. There's no elementless uncoverable damage
Yeah, exactly.
that you will see if you kill it fast enough.
But that's so the requirement to do the 0 damage strat is being able to OTK Siren, because if you do that,
Wait,
sorry,
Wait a
not
minute.
Siren, Shiva. If you do that, right, then you only need 200% resistance to Earth as well as Mirage every turn, if I'm not wrong. And 200%, of course, that includes if you have a 100% Earth resistance buff. So it's
It's 180 Earth you need.
wait 180. Okay.
And I think because basically for immuning things you want to cover with a total of 220% ice plus dark, or 220% ice and dark. So I think 440% combine of the two because everything's double element.
Yeah.
180% Earth on everyone because Golem does some uncoverable Earth AoEs, I think. And then you have to kill Shiva from above 50% so you don't see her AoE physicals, and have AoE 1 stack Mirage each turn for Golem's AoE elementless physical.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think that.
provoke tank soaking up like Charm and Zombie and things.
Yeah, but you will still if you can't OTK Shiva, I think you're still gonna take some damage from Shiva herself, right? Doesn't she have? No, oh, maybe I'm probably wrong.
No, I think it's only like your provoker getting zombied and stuff.
Okay, so
like,
so you
for
just
my
need to
clear, I think
burst
I
from 50
killed-
to 0.
Yeah, like I killed Golem on turn 4 or 5 and Shiva on 7, and I think only my provoke tank was really like under threat.
Right. So it doesn't also matter in which order you really kill them. Well, I guess it does. It's the cover fight, right?
I think I'm not sure actually. Haven't really looked into like the physical cover and how much that's related to killing Shiva first. I think you can still like magic cover and kill Shiva first because the requirements for like tanking Golem don't really change much between Shiva being alive and dead. But I haven't looked into like doing it that way that much.
Right.
Assuming it's the same as the original, if you kill Shiva first, then Golem doesn't really do a whole lot. Mostly it's that he starts using the like 90% gravity thing on your provoke tank, so that could be problematic if you're not using dodge, but otherwise you're probably fine.
Yeah, but this is one like this kind of starts the era of bulk not really mattering that much for trials, or not even not much, not at all. for trials going
On your
forward
damage
for your
dealer,
damage, or for anyone else other than your tank, because
I'm not convinced that'll last. Over the course of the past few years, we've seen Gumi and Alum swerve all over the place in terms of what they want to matter when designing fights.
but we haven't seen it yet. Like, as I understand it, in JP, your party is not taking any damage from this trial onward. It's just your tank. So of course, if you have someone like FaZe, then holy shit.
That's true, but we don't have a big sample size at this point.
Yeah.
We've seen streaks before of like 4 or 5 trials that followed one particular thing, one particular model. People were like, "Oh, this is the new meta. This is the future," and then things changed back.
Yeah.
Like we had a while where every single trial we were getting was immune to attack and match breaks.
Yeah, sure, but I mean that still means that any units now that are going to be relevant in the time that they can be relevant, since Zagacha and power creep is a thing, really don't care about bulk at all. So like,
Yeah, but bulk isn't usually a question of the unit. I think when people talk about that, they're thinking more about what items are worth it.
yeah, true, but not just. Like, I mean, there are some units that are just units, if you know what I mean. They're just like
Yeah,
total units.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've only gotten like 3 or 4 of those throughout the history of the game. So
Yeah, and that was one of the things that people were talking about with Grimlord Sakura. Like, oh my god, she can get her spirit up really high as well as her HP while still doing good magical damage. Yeah, thing is, doesn't matter that much though. Going forward, it's mostly just the damage that does.
I mean, for the stats, definitely, but like a lot of those no damage things, I think are still like no damage if everyone has 100% fire resistant 2-stack Mirage each turn or something. So maybe like having the bulk lets you sacrifice some fire resistance instead or something. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just a
true.
theory
You could
for
sacrifice some
example.
fire resistance to get. I mean, it's the same on this trial. I guess like if you can't do 180% earth resistance, you might be able to kill it faster. So yeah.
Yeah. I think, and I guess speaking of killing it fast, the one like wipe mechanic on this basically is if both of them are still alive at turn 9, I think, Golem does a really nasty fixed AoE that will probably be pretty devastating.
Unless you have FaZe. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, it's fixed. You can't cover it.
Yeah, but she's probably gonna survive. Let's face it.
Yeah, I guess she will survive, but
Like maybe you add
the rest of the
Renora,
team probably won't.
and then it really matters if she can raise or not, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, she can, so maybe you'll be fine.
Yeah, so I guess to wrap things up for this week, there's some good stuff on this banner. We really hate the headlining unit, but she's probably worth pulling for anyways. Well,
I mean,
definitely
she's
worth pulling for.
definitely
anyways.
worth pulling for. I mean, like, you know, no joke aside, if you're not a fundamentalist like me, you should absolutely pull for this unit because holy shit,
Yeah.
is she gonna make your life, or they are gonna make your life so much easier going forward for literally everything. So, you know, go ahead and
I
pull.
don't care if you only have like 3 tickets. Spend them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you have 1,500 lapis to your name, just, you know, do 500 lapis pulls on the last day of this banner.
Oh god. And like, even if you do have terrible luck like me, if you have a decent amount of lapis, you can guarantee getting her for 40k, even if you don't get any envies from 40k.
And if you don't have any lapis, consider crime. Just go out
Sobbing
and commit
quietly
crimes and
into
earn
the
money.
night.
Reflect on your mistakes.
Yeah, I actually don't have lapis, but I wouldn't like. I mean, not even once did I consider buying lapis for this banner. Honestly, like not even once. I didn't even actually look at what bundles we got. Maybe we did get good bundles. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we got the typical weekly thing of like $75 for 20k something, 24k. I forget how much.
22, I think.
standard awful bundles.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Just gacha things.
I mean, like, and you know, like, if you ever considered paying for a banner, this is like, I hate saying this, but this is probably the banner to pay for. But then I want to ask you to not do it, right? Because, like, if you open your wallet on this banner, then holy shit, you're sending such a signal for Alem and Gumi to create more of this type of unit. And please don't.
I mean, is this a message that Alum and Gumi have listened to? Like, they keep releasing shitty damage dealers, and we almost never get tanks.
I'm going to argue with you here and say that I think that's literally the only message I think Alem and Gumi have ever listened to, because if there's something that doesn't happen is that they never release banners that perform poorly. Like, there are banners that have been skipped that we suspect have performed poorly, but also banners with unit types that perform poorly before we never get again. Damage dealers are different because there's also this, desire to get the unit. So I don't know. I honestly think that if there's one thing they keep track of, it's the revenue on a banner.
I'm sure they keep track of it, but I'm not sure that they use that to inform what kind of units they make. Like, if they did, they would make more magic tanks, but they released Cecil, and then they waited almost a year before they released another unit that was like that.
But we're also
over a year in
assuming,
JP.
but you're assuming that the Cecil banner did well, though, right? And as well as the Phasey banner. I mean, okay, among whales, sure, or at least inform people that know, how strong they are. But it's like, are we sure about that? Like, Cecil, if you don't know how strong he is, or what he brought to the table, he's not really the standard unit you're going to be busting out your wallet for, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't have that appeal, right? I mean, fuck, I can see more people pulling for Furion than for Cecil.
I mean, that's it. Also, on the other hand, even amongst the people that do understand the meta, let's say, part of what drives the popularity of magic tanks is their scarcity. If they were every other banner, you wouldn't need to pull on most of them, unless you're Muspel.
Unless they're also creeping them by 50% bulk every time, Dream, you forgot about that?
Yeah, that's
sadly
whatever.
True.
It's not, but okay.
Yeah, so I guess we're wrapping up for the week then.
Yeah.
We should have wrapped up 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we should have. But listeners, if you did get a Phasey, congratulations. Fantastic unit. If you had any...
Turn off the CGLBs.
Yeah, Jesus, turn off the CGLBs. This one is... I mean, okay, yeah. Actually, there's... Okay, wait, I want to say it's actually cute that it hints at some homosexuality in the game. I think that's really good. But it still, looks like two underage girls making out. So, maybe not the right type of homosexuality. You know what I mean?
Support the intent, not the implementation? I don't know.
Yes. Also, support Sieghard and... or actually, I'm just going to call them by their real name, Bighard. Support Bighard's CGLB upgrade that's bound to come this Valentine's next year.
Bound, huh? Is that what you're into?
Oof.
Wait, no, I've made a terrible mistake.
I
Let's call
definitely
it.
think...
All right, this has been a great episode,
Listen.
everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next week.
Gumi, add some light bondage to it and mwah, okay?